Before this video starts, I wanted to just really quickly say that I shot this video more like a how it's made than a tutorial. So if you did want to make your own and follow along, I recommend that you watch the full video first before going and getting the materials. Anyway, I hope you enjoy and... Hey, what's up? It's Hyphen. If you're new to my channel and you didn't know, if you're not subscribed, you're probably gonna get diarrhea.
No.
Why would you say it? If you didn't tell them, they would have. So today we're going to be making the intro sword from Adventure Time. But before we get into it, though, really quickly, I wanted to do a quick staring contest. All right, ready? I'm gonna count down. It's gonna have numbers on the screen. Ready? All right, 3, 2, 1. God. You win. All right, so this is the part of the video where I'm supposed to have the material that you would need on the table. But it's a mess, and I most certainly forgot something. Let's go ahead and get... Alright, so the first thing I did here is I got 4 pieces of paper and I taped them together. I didn't do a tutorial on that because if you need a tutorial on that, I can make one, just let me know in the comment. And then I got this wooden dowel and I cut it about 28.5 inches. I didn't think you needed a tutorial on how to cut a wooden dowel, but if you do, let me know in the comment. We're gonna fold our 4 pieces of paper in half, hot dog style. That's a big hot dog. At the bottom of the wooden dowel here, bottom of the wooden dowel here, I want you to mark out with a pencil about 9.5 inches. You're gonna go there and you're gonna mark. I already marked it. Basically, that's going to be where your handle and stiff goes. So you're gonna line that up with the bottom of the 4 papers that you just taped together, and you're gonna put it in the middle of where you folded it hot dog style. I'm gonna do voiceovers for the part that I didn't explain well. Basically what I'm saying here is you're just going to draw an outline with the dowel in the middle of where you want the blade to be, and you're going to want the tip to be a couple inches above where your dowel ends so that it can come to a point without having like a weird flat point. For mine, I did it about 3/4 of the way through this 3rd piece of paper, but it is totally up to you on how steep you want the angle of the tip of the blade to be. Since we folded the paper in half at the beginning, we do only need to mark one side because then we can just fold it and cut it and we'll have, you know, both sides be perfect. The line that I'm drawing here isn't very straight, but when you cut it, it'll be good, you know? You know what I'm saying? Like with the scissors. Right now you're probably like, man, that looks pretty stinky. The line that we drew in pencil is just like a general outline, so obviously you don't have to follow the curves that you drew. I don't know why I'm explaining this to you. You probably know how cutting with scissors work. So you're gonna use some scissors, right? Alright, so this is where I unfold my template and make sure that the lines are straight on the blade, and they are, so. Dang guys, that's pretty cool. Okay, so I folded a piece of paper in half and then I drew the cross guard for the sword, and I'm gonna just do the same thing that I basically did for the blade. I don't know why I said basically there, that was kind of weird. At this point I realized that the template that I made for the blade is a bit thicker than I want it to be, so I'm going to go in and mark based on where the cross guard is, how thin I want the blade to be. So I'm just gonna fold this in half again and fold the cross guard in half, and I want the blade to go down to about the middle of that arch. So right now it's about 1 inch too big, so I'm just gonna mark it with a pencil and then cut it out. How's your day going, by the way? Good, I hope it's going good. Alright, so now that I've cut it down, it looks like this. Alright, so for this next part, we're going to get I think this is 5mm EVA foam. It's like the middle side. We're going to grab the blade, not the handle part, just the blade, and we're going to lay it out on here, draw an outline with a pencil, and we're going to cut it out with an X-Acto blade. We're going to make 4 of these, four of them. We're going to make 4 of these. 4 of these are going to be made by us, 4 of them. After marking and cutting out all 4 blade templates, I'm going to lay them on top of each other to make sure that they're generally the same size and shape. It's okay if there's a couple imperfections because I'm going to Dremel down the sides and make sure that they're a perfect fit. Next, I'm going to mark on 2 of the 4 blade templates that I made where the dowel is when I line up that bottom line that we drew at the beginning with the bottom of the sword. After I have where the dowel lays marked out, I'm going to use an X-Acto knife and cut out this inner area because this is where the dowel is going to go inside of the sword. Get hyped, because we're finally gonna use the glue gun. I know you're excited. Okay, but actually though, when you're using the hot glue, it's important when you're gluing these two pieces to line up the outer part and not the inner part, because you want it to be as much of a solid straight line on that edge as you can. Here I'm just making sure that the dowel is going to fit in properly and the foam will still be straight. And it is, so celebrate or whatever, you know? Okay, so now I'm going to glue the other two pieces onto the top and bottom, and that middle section is just going to remain empty. Alright, so now we're going to slide it in. It's going to be a tight fit, but that's what you want. So you're just going to put it through there. And make sure it's on straight, because I've done ones where it's all like crooked. After I make sure it's not too tight, I put some glue on the end of the dowel, and then I just put it in. Yeah. I feel like there's a lot of, you know, middle area here. Maybe you could use this video to fall asleep to, you know? But, I don't know. I'm sanding these outside edges to make it as straight as I can. Next, I'm going to draw a straight line down the middle of the blade so that when I'm dremeling, I can make the spine of the sword as perfect as I can. And then I hit the Dremel. Woo, Dremel. Make sure not to hit your hands. You know, that goes for most power tools, though. I'm happy with how even I have the spine of the sword with how I dremeled it, so we can finally get started on the guard. You might want to line up the guard with the blade one last time just to make sure you're okay with that size there. But we're going to make 4 of these with the same density foam as the blade, and then we're going to make 2 with a thinner density foam. I'm going to cut off the 2 peaks in the middle on the 4 higher density templates. For 2 of the 4 thicker pieces, we're going to cut out that middle piece similar to how we did with 2 of the 4 with the blade, so then the dowel has somewhere to go through. Once I make sure all of the pieces generally line up, I can go ahead and glue them all together. Yippee, yeah! We're going to keep the side 2 off for now. I'm just gonna go Dremel this, make it clean. Alright, so I Dremeled it. I'm gonna slide it onto the dowel, line it up with the blade, and then mark out where the blade meets, and I'm going to cut out about ½ an inch of just where the blade is, so that it'll slide in and be a perfect fit with the blade. Watch this. It's kind of satisfying. Woo! Woo. At the bottom of the blade of the sword, it has these triangle things, so I'm going to mark out the width of the blade, and then I'm going to cut this out, fold it in half, and draw out the triangle design, and then transfer it onto the thin EVA foam. Once I have it the shape that I want it, I'm going to glue it together, and then just go ahead and glue it to the blade. Now I'm going to slide the guard back on, and we can finally get these glued on and knocked out. For the circle on the thinnest layer of foam, I drew it out in pencil, and then I'm just going to lightly, with an X-Acto blade, mark it so that when I hit it with the heat gun, it'll expand and look like 2 separate pieces of metal. I'm also going to make a smaller inner circle with that same density foam. Alright, so I cut out the pieces I was talking about, so now I'm just going to glue these right in the middle there. I then hit it with the heat gun and boil my fingers, but it's worth it because, you know, now there's a more intense indent. I'm gonna just glue the cross blade onto the blade and then glue the part that we just made on top of that. I'm just gonna use a ping pong ball at the bottom of the sword for that little metal piece. I cut out the size of the dowel and then just glue it in. It's pretty simple, I guess. I'm gonna use this gray house paint as a base primer because I like the way it looks once you spray paint over it. It makes it look more metal and solid. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you here. I didn't record the part where I spray painted the blade, and I actually didn't end up liking the shades of the colors that I chose, so it worked out. I feel like the gold needs to be more orange and the silver needs to be more blue, but that's for another day, I guess. For the handle, I just bought this strip of leather, cut it into pieces, and then glued it around the handle, and I think it ended up looking pretty good. If you do end up doing this on your own and do a different paint job, make sure to send me a picture because I'd love to see how that looks. But without making you wait any longer, this is my finished Adventure Time title card sword. Whoa, you made it to the end of the video. Good job. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to comment what sword you think I should do next, and let me know if you do actually end up making this sword for yourself. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe, or don't. I can't tell you what to do. You know, you do you, right? I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.